NFL Awards Week 5 started with MVP like always, and it has to be Baker Mayfield. There were a lot of great options this week, but he had nearly 380 passing yards and 2 touchdowns with no turnovers and led his team to a win over the Seahawks. Now for Offensive Player of the Week, not the first time he's won this award, it is Jonathan Taylor. Now he did have just 66 rushing yards, but he also had 20 receiving yards and then 3 touchdowns on the ground to make up for it and led his Colts to a win. And for Defense of the Week, I'm giving it to the Houston Texans, who allowed just 10 points to the Ravens. I know they had a backup quarterback in, but they also picked him off 3 times, and either way, you have to admit this was a great performance, and they've been like this all year. My Rookie of the Week, I know, is so boring, but I have to give it to Emeka Egbuka, who had 7 receptions for 163 yards and a receiving touchdown. Who else do I give it to? Now, I do have an honorable mention, though. There were so many great rookies this week, I had to give another award out for Rookie of the Week, and it's going to be Bill Krosky-Merritt, who had 111 rushing yards, 39 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns in Washington's win. Now, for Comeback Player of the Week, I'm going to give it to someone who hasn't really done much in his first few games. I'm giving it to Travis Hunter. Now, you might think this is kind of weird because he wasn't really that great. He had 64 receiving yards, but he had one of the clutchest catches we've seen all year, and he graded top 10 for rookies in both offense and defense this week, just allowing 1 reception on defense as well. Coach of the Week, this was honestly a no-brainer for me. I'm going to give it to Kyle Shanahan. He was without 7 of his offensive starters, including his quarterback, and he still found a way to get his team the win. I know you guys were waiting for this guy, but he was my Next Man Up award. I'm giving it to Rico Dowdle, who had 206 rushing yards, 28 receiving yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. That is not a typo. He rushed for over 200 yards. And he single-handedly carried the Panthers to a win this past week.